All right, let's talk about what it really takes to achieve something big. Not some quick fix or a life hack, but a real, timeless framework for success. And this comes straight from the hard-won wisdom of a 40-year military veteran, so you know it's been battle-tested. It's a question we've all wondered about. You see these people who face just incredible challenges. They've got no money, no connections, people telling them they're going to fail, and yet somehow they push right through and get it done. So what's their secret? What separates them from everybody else? Well, according to a speech by a retired colonel, the answer isn't some crazy, complex secret. It's actually a surprisingly simple but really profound framework built on 3 core pillars. This is the exact system he used to navigate his own career for 4 decades. So let's unpack it. Okay, so the whole entire structure starts right here, with the first and, honestly, the most critical pillar, desire. And look, this isn't about just kind of wanting something or having a casual interest. No, this is something much, much deeper. The colonel puts it so perfectly with this metaphor. Just think about it. Your ambition is like an airplane. You can have the most advanced jet in the world, the clearest destination plugged into the GPS, but if the fuel tank is empty, that plane is never, ever leaving the runway. Desire is that fuel. It is completely non-negotiable. So just to be super clear, when we talk about desire in this context, we're talking about the raw energy source. It's that deep, burning want that you feel right in your core. It's the why that gets you started, and more importantly, it's the why that keeps you going when things inevitably get tough. And this isn't just a theory for him, he lived it. He tells the story about being in college, totally broke, and right on the verge of failing out. But his desire to make his parents proud, and maybe even more importantly, to be proud of himself, became this inner core. It was a source of strength that nothing on the outside could touch. And what's really amazing is that he says that same fire, the one he lit all those decades ago, is still burning inside him today. That's the power of real desire. So, you've got the fuel, you've got that burning desire, that's awesome. But fuel all by itself is just potential energy, right? It's like a puddle of gas on the ground. You need a structure to actually channel it. And that brings us to the second pillar, dedication. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because the colonel flips a really common idea right on its head. He says dedication is what leads to motivation, not the other way around. Just think about that. Most of us wait to feel motivated to do something. He says, no, that's backwards. You dedicate yourself to the path first, and that commitment is what builds the momentum and the motivation you need. It's the foundation you build right on top of your desire. He's got a pretty memorable story for this from his ROTC days. There was this survival exercise they called the chicken kill. Yeah, pretty intense. The cadets had to kill, cook, and eat a chicken with just their bare hands. Not exactly a fun afternoon. But their dedication to a higher purpose, learning survival skills that could save their lives, gave that awful task real meaning. And that's the point. Dedication is what gets you up every single morning to solve problems, even the ones you hate, because you're committed to that bigger picture. Okay, so we've got the fuel of desire, we've built the foundation with dedication, but how do you make sure you keep moving forward, day in and day out? Especially on those days where you just don't feel like it. We all have those. Well, that's where our third and final pillar comes in, the engine of discipline. This is the operational system. It's the engine that takes the fuel from your desire, uses the foundation of your dedication, and turns it all into consistent, reliable progress. It's the thing that moves you forward at all times, not just when you happen to be feeling inspired. The colonel uses this fantastic metaphor of 2 runners to explain this. First, you've got the jackrabbit. He explodes off the starting line, full sprint, all passion and no pacing. And what happens? He's totally gassed after the first mile. Then you've got the disciplined runner. They regulate their energy. They use that inner fire as sustainable fuel for the long haul, not a bonfire that just burns out. They're the one who can actually finish the full 20 miles. See, discipline isn't about intensity, it's all about consistency. So, we've looked at each pillar one by one. Now, let's put it all together and see how this framework becomes a complete, powerful system for getting things done. So think of it like building something. You start with step 1, desire. That's the fuel. It's the answer to what do I want more than anything else? Then you lay the foundation, dedication. That's the commitment to stick with it no matter what. And finally, you install the engine, discipline. Those are the daily systems and habits that make sure you're always moving forward. And this is the ultimate payoff. When these three pillars, desire, dedication, and discipline, are all aligned and working together, they create this unstoppable force. It becomes a system that makes any goal, no matter how big or scary it seems, feel achievable. Like the Colonel says, when you have this framework, nothing is too hard to do. And so that brings us right back to the beginning with the one powerful question that starts it all. And it's not about what your parents want or what your friends are doing. It's about finding your own core desire. Because once you truly know what that is, you have your fuel. You can build the dedication and the discipline after that. But everything starts with the answer to this one question. What is it that you truly want the most?